What's happening? Zach here. Welcome to the Zach B podcast again. Today we have a special guest for you, Devin London. How you doing, Devin?
Doing pretty good, brother. How you doing, G?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good
sir.
seeing you again, man. It's been a while.
It has.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
A lot
so
to catch up
everything
on,
going good,
brother.
though?
Everything's going great.
Yeah. Awesome. For the people watching, tell us, who is Devin? Who are you, dude? Who do you work for? Where are you from?
Who am I? Who do I work for? Where am I from? I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah, bud.
But so my name's Devin Lundy. I've been a real estate agent for close to 2 years.
Go crazy.
First started off with LPT, then I had switched over to Realty Source.
I didn't know about LPT, by the way.
Yeah, I was there for like 3 months.
Okay.
And I got the same experience where I was like, yeah, this.
I got you.
Yeah.
Gotta make a change up.
Yeah, it almost made me like not want to do it anymore.
That's crazy.
But was doing that and then switched to Realty Source. And then, I've just been doing real estate ever since. As soon as I sold my first house, that was when I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm all in.
Was it addicting after?
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like it
Oh,
is
yeah.
addicting.
Oh,
Everybody's
yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to do great. And you don't know how great it is until that first
Oh,
one. You're
yeah.
like, I can do this.
I'm already knowing, bro. I was waiting tables, so once I got hit with the commission check, I was like, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep it going.
Oh, yeah, I switched it real quick.
I love that, dude. Are you from the area?
So I'm actually from Prince George,
Okay.
Virginia, kind of near Richmond, about an hour and a half away from here. I moved down here when I got accepted into ODU in 2018. That's when I graduated high school.
Oh, snap.
And then I moved down here. My mom and my sister was like, oh, yeah, I guess you got accepted to the beach. We're going to the beach, too.
That's awesome.
So they moved down here with me. And then, started going to ODU in 2018.
What'd you go to school for?
Initially, I was undecided.
Okay.
And then I ended up graduating with a communications degree.
Okay.
So, and then I ended up joining a fraternity in 2019. And and then after that, bro, it was just like, I didn't really realize how much that would have impacted everything that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how much that was gonna, like, because at first I was like, bro, I'm not about to join a fraternity. I'm not about to pay for friends. I'm not trying to do all that.
Yeah.
And then my first year, it was cool. And then I was just like, I get the whole college thing, but it was still like, I didn't feel like I was actually living my college to the full potential without joining one, if that makes sense. Because I was still kind of, didn't really know anybody. I was still kind of like in my shell. I was hanging out with like my roommates and, people like that. But it was still like, I feel like there's something I'm missing. Like, you know what I mean? Like the real experience, which obviously you're not really going to get unless you go to like a big school, but you can kind of make the best of what you're surrounded with. You know, you can go to Virginia Tech or UVA or where are these other places, but like at ODU, I feel like you have to join, not necessarily a fraternity or sorority, but you got to be a part of something that's a little bit bigger than yourself so you can kind of meet people. That's how you find out what you're good at, what you like to do, and people that you even like, because you don't even really know yourself like that while you're in, elementary school, middle school, high school.
Even high school, right?
Yeah,
You're
in high school.
becoming yourself in high school, but it's really when you get to the college age and beyond where you're like, I know who I am now because of everything.
Yeah.
That's what's up,
but
man.
and then graduated in 2022, and
Awesome, man. So you decided real estate after graduating, I'm guessing, right? Were
No,
you playing with the idea beforehand?
No, so I was actually never playing with the idea. I went and worked for the news station at Wavy TV 10 right when I graduated in 2022.
That's crazy, by the way. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was there as like an account executive. I was there interning there for about 3 or 4 months unpaid, and then I applied for the job, got the job, and I was like the youngest dude on my team, but I thought that's what kind of my life was going to be. I thought I was just going to be working like a 9 to 5, like whatever I wanted to do. I knew it was going to be in sales, because I knew that that's where the money was. And so I was doing that for like 6-7 months, and I was like, dude, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I'm around a bunch of people who, and nothing against anybody, but like that was their whole life. I didn't want my whole life to be at this job, just doing whatever everybody else is doing. Like I was actually trying to like live life. So, and then after that, I was like, dude, for one, I was making more, like either on par or just amount of the same amount of money that I was making being a server.
Really?
So and it was way less stressful, way less work. And I was like, dude, I could just go do this and figure out what exactly I want to do, as opposed to try and force my brain to do some shit some stuff that I wasn't even really trying to do. So I went back to waiting tables. That was in 2023, and I'd say around 2023, I'd say like right around that summertime, that's when I went back to waiting tables. and then waiting tables. And then my sister was actually trying to get her real estate license.
Okay.
And
I
then,
didn't know that.
yeah, she was trying to get her real estate license. She's younger than me, and she kept failing the very first test.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, I mean, real estate, that sounds like kind of cool. Like, it sounds like that's something I could do.
And I know probably you too. You've seen it on TV and everything, and you're like,
oh, yeah.
Man. You're like, what in the world? This looks so cool. It's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it draws you in.
It drew me in, yeah. So she was trying to get it, and then I stopped I didn't stop serving tables, but I was like, let me just see what that's talking about. She told me the class I was like doing the class, bro. 3 days after I started doing the class, my current brokers came into the restaurant that I was working at, and I was just, they were just my regular customers. I didn't know who to.
You're being personal.
Yeah,
You're just being yourself.
I was being myself, and they were like, yo, you would be a kick-ass real estate agent. Like, you would be super good. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. I just signed up for the classes. And they were like, all right. And this was in August. Okay. So in August, signed up for the classes. 3 days later, brokers came in. And I was like, okay, well, this was kind of like some reaffirmation of like, okay, I'm on the right path, you know? So ended up getting my license in December. Got my license in December. And then, like, actually on my birthday, I took the class. Took the class, passed that the first time, and I was like, okay, bet, PSI now. Passed the national, failed the Virginia the first time by like one question, like 3 points, and I was like, dang, bruh. But I was like, okay, well, if I felt like I was going to fail it and I passed it, I feel like I could do actually really good on this next term because like I was going into it not knowing where I was actually at. I was like, bro, this shit hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, there's no way.
I mean, when you first start, it is.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's so much information.
Test, I was like, at first I was like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff.
Man, so much.
It's crazy.
So much. So passed it the next time on my birthday, and then after that I was like, oh. And then like my current brokers, they invited me out to like their Christmas party, and then I was like, dude, this still feels too good to be true. Like, these people are so cool. And they just it's like they were genuinely happy for me to be a part of their team. And then in my initial brain, I'm like, dude, I was like waiting for something like to be like, hey, watch out. You know what I'm saying? But nothing, it was just all good. It was all good. So I was like, I don't know, it's a little bit too good to be true. So ended up getting introduced to somebody at LPT. And then it was kind of the same thing. Everybody is kind of trying to they're trying to sell their company and what they're doing to you to make it be like, what you cooking over there? Let me come over there and see what you cooking and stuff. So I ended up joining them. Was there for like 3 months, and I barely learned anything. I didn't learn nothing about no contracts. I didn't learn nothing about anything for real. So I was just like, dude, I'm just here. I got my license, spent all this time doing it. I don't even really enjoy it.
And
so
that sort of knocks the wind out of you.
It does.
You're excited and
stops.
you come in and you're like, goodness gracious, what?
It stops the momentum.
I feel like that's mostly all real estate as a brokerage, right? You've probably been to just as many I have. They're great at selling. At the end of the day, though, it's sad to say, but in real estate, you gotta watch out for number one first, because if you don't, everywhere you go will seem not the same, because everybody's got their own thing, doing their own different stuff. But you'll feel the same.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely is, because the crazy part about it is it's like you don't really know. You're not used to people trying to always sell you on stuff. Not even just real estate agents, but loan officers, title companies, pretty much any type of thing that you would need real estate for. People are always trying to get you to do business with them. So it just makes you look at people's intentions a little bit more, as far as like, okay, I know you're talking to me because you want what I have and the capability that I can produce, but like, is it genuine or is it just you? That's why it was cool whenever you were just talking over there. It was like, I'm not trying to sell nobody. I'm not trying to, like, it'll happen organically.
Yes.
If you're supposed to be here, you're supposed to be here. If you're not, you will know. You'll know where you're supposed to be.
100%.
You got to pay attention to the signs of like, whenever the momentum stops, that's when you kind of got to start looking around at what was happening. Like, that's why, like, but yeah, I mean, I kind of want to stay on track, like kind of like a time loop. So ended up joining my realty source firm in May of 2023, or no, 2023. No, I guess it was 2024. Holy shit. No, it might have been 2023. I don't know. Time is moving pretty crazy.
Maybe 2023 going into 2023.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So, because I got licensed into graduated 2022, and then Wavy 2023, and then holy crap, and then got my license at the end of 2023. Started at 2024. Holy shit, this is insane.
You were almost at year 2
Yeah,
complete then.
Yeah, year 2 will be in January this year. So, or January 2026, and then it'll be 24, 20. Okay. So yeah, joined Realty Source, and then immediately once I did that, I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be at. Started learning so much, but it wasn't all gravy. It wasn't all like good, you know. There's obviously
there's ups and downs.
Yeah, hard conversations, trying to figure out exactly what your flow is, trying to figure out
who you want to be,
who you want to be, who you want to be as an agent, bro. Because there's so many agents, so many different styles and stuff like that. But it's like, who do you want to be? But you can only get so far trying to be somebody else. You really gotta, because that's not gonna keep you waking up and trying to do something every single day.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's easier not only to get clients and to help people, but it's also easier to be an agent when you are yourself. Am I wrong?
Dude.
You wake up in the morning, you're like, all right, this is what I want to do today. That helps me grow my business. So I'm going to do that because it's not, obviously we all have to do things that sometimes we don't want to do. But in those situations when you're building your business, I feel like it's 1,000 times easier for you to just go and be like, this is what I want to do today. This is how I want to build my brand. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Compared to, you know, you get the steps and they're like, if you follow these steps, I feel like it's easier long term for you to build your own, do your own thing while maybe using the guidelines to help.
Yeah, no, I mean, for long term, 100%. But you also gotta, like, something that I always kind of like struggle with is just like, whenever you have so much free time, you kind of forget what to do, and there's not like, so, and I always kind of like use this comparison. So like, all the way through life, like elementary school, middle school, high school, college, you always have some sort of grading scale of yourself, whether that be passing homework, quizzes, tests. But once you graduate and once you're finished with school, and there's really not anything like a curriculum or something that you got to follow in order to be like, okay, check mark, check mark, check mark. You got to create those check marks for yourself, and those little ways to measure success, and those little ways to be like, okay, even if I didn't really feel like I did anything today, how can I look at my day and be like, okay, you know, Devin, I know you didn't make 100 phone calls today or this week, but you did do this and you did do this. You know, you did film a video and you did do that. Like, you just have to start figuring out different ways of measuring your own success so that you don't get caught up in the loop of like not feeling like you've done enough, but also wanting to excel so much more. It's always like a fine line, but then again, it all just comes down to knowing that, you know, we're not in school anymore. This is kind of real life, you know what I mean? We have total control about what we can do. And you also got to remember you got to remind yourself why you're doing this stuff. You know, it's so much easier to go get a job and just work and show up and have somebody tell you, this is what you need to do today. Call this person, text this person, you know, go wait on these tables. But whenever you're waking up, you don't have nobody waking Zach up, you know what I mean? Telling you, hey, you got to do this. You got to get to the bag. You got to make these phone calls. You are the person that's kind of guiding that. And you got to wake up and remind yourself, like, you're choosing the struggle pretty much. We're choosing this struggle. Yeah. It's, like I said, it's so much easier. In the long term, so much better. But in the short term, I'll be asking myself, bro, why are you doing this, bro? Especially when all my friends and all your friends, I'm sure, are doing.
Everybody's out living life, and you're sort of
everybody else is doing. But that's the thing, living life, though.
Yeah. I love that. I love
the
that.
Living life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to be living life. I'm trying to go travel. I'm trying to be able to have my family set, me set, my friends set. I'm trying to have everybody around me set. But for one, that all just starts with me and what I'm doing with my business.
Tell me if I'm wrong. If I mean, maybe you won't doing it. You might not look at it the exact way I do, but I look at it every day as if I get 1% better than yesterday, right? Then in a year, 1% better is 365% better. But like, that's how I look at it. You're right. Maybe one day it's like, okay, I don't have no crazy active clients right now, but today, like you said, I recorded that video. I went to the open house, something that where I could have sat at home, but instead I didn't. I feel like that is something that's very impactful, and I feel like you can use that in almost anything. Though,
right? Oh yeah,
like people go to the gym. If I lifted a dumbbell 10 times. If I lift it 1% more, 11 tomorrow, I'm 1% better already. So I feel like I like that mentality because I feel that's I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it's underestimated, bro,
is.
because like I said, even just going back to the school reference, it's like first grade, second grade, third grade. It's like once you get to a point of no more grades or no more of like, okay, you're kind of just like looking around like, okay, so am I doing the wrong thing? Am I doing the right thing? But that's the beautiful part about life is you never know until after. So you might as well just go.
Hindsight's 2020,
Oh
buddy.
yeah, oh yeah, no, 100%. Life is the only thing that makes sense backwards, not forwards.
We haven't even been, in life that long compared to others, and we already know hindsight. Woo, clear vision after you've gone through it, right?
And you couldn't tell me nothing before that point. If somebody was trying to tell me, hey Devin, I don't know about this, bro. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. I'm gonna do it anyways. And then if I find out the hard way, I find out the hard way. Just like with me changing brokerage firms, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to leave my firm. I didn't want to leave that firm. I don't, it's not cool to like leave, you know what I'm saying? But whenever there's something inside of me telling me to change or to just go for it, just try it. You know what I'm saying? If you fail, all right, screw it. Sorry guys, I kind of fucked up.
I'm big on that too, where it's like, if you make that change or whatever, I'm a big person on when I leave, I want you to know why, and it will never be nothing personally against you. It's just how I see it, and I feel like as long as you leave on that good note, the worst that can happen is you go back to it, right?
Oh yeah.
Just like in real estate, you start off. Let's say you get out of high school, you're working, right? Let's go to the age. Okay, I'm out of high school. I graduated college. You start working. Okay, people are like, I don't know, I might not want to go into real estate. You leave that job, on a great standing. You go try real estate. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back and go, hey, I can always go back to this job and then save up, and either you can attempt it again or do something else. But I feel like I'm with you on that, where I feel it's time to move or, do your thing, do it. And as long as it's a good standing, like it's nothing crazy, you can always go back and do that.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
No, 100%. And that's why everywhere I go, I always just try to, like, and like I said, it
doesn't hurt to be a good person, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
if you're a good
bro.
person anywhere you go.
People know that. People know that. That's why even like the other day, just showing up, just being like, yo, it's not like what I did was like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, man, it's like, nah, bro, I literally just did what's best for me. And that's not even that's how I treat real estate or my job, but I treat everything like that. If I'm in a relationship and I feel like it's going to a place where I'm like, hey, I think it's best for me and best for you if we just kind of just call 100%. Things off, chill things out, or whatever the case may be. But also another thing that I've been learning, bro, is the power of words and communication and things that I can talk about, because that's one thing I didn't really do. And that's always kind of like a pattern that I've always gotten to. It's like it's almost like you're driving the ship, and it's like, instead of like you looking at the iceberg, and it's like you're the captain of the ship, and you have everybody on it, and you're like, you see an iceberg, and instead of being like, I should probably tell all these people about an iceberg, it's like, instead it's just like, all right guys, I think we need to go that way. And everybody's like, why? And you're just like, I just listen to me. I think it's best if we just go this way. And they're all like, but I don't understand. And then you go that way, and then it's just like, they never really know, because y'all were about to hit that, but instead of hitting that, now we're over here, and now we're going through these other troubles, and now these people are looking at me like, Captain, what are you doing? But like, that's even with my relationships, instead of like me and my brain just feeling some type of way and being like, this is kind of how I'm feeling, I see the iceberg over there, we can either brace for impact and we can have a rough conversation like, hey guys, this iceberg is probably we're not going to hit it right now, but we should probably prepare and like kind of, this is kind of where we can either go that way or go whatever. Yeah. Pretty much talk it out. So that's kind of where it was at my other office, where it was like, I'm feeling some type of way. And instead of me like voicing it to the team and voicing it to my people, like, hey, this is kind of how I'm feeling. I'm thinking about going over here. These are some of the things that I'm really trying to, overcome. These are some of the things that you're working on. Yeah. Like that, yeah. And if it doesn't line up, then it's like, hey, it is what it is. But like, if you never have that conversation, you never really know where things could have been. And that's where it's like, where I'm like, damn, bro, I could have just let them know how I was feeling. I could have just told them, these are my concerns. These are things that I like. These are things, this is what I'm about to do. Do y'all have anything that will keep me here? Do y'all have anything that will, you know what I mean? And that's the same thing for relationships, bro. The same thing for everything. You can either just leave, you can talk about it and then leave, or you can never talk about it and then just hit the iceberg and then act surprised once the ship got a leak. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you already know deep down what was coming. you can try to ignore the fact that you're about to hit an iceberg, or you can just be like, all right, guys, let me just keep painting this over this like little hole. Let me just keep painting over the window. It's like, bro, you about to get hit regardless, bro. The universe is not going to let you keep doing the same dumb shit without letting you know, like, hey, Zach, you know you're supposed to be going this way, right? Yeah, I know, but still, I'm still someone. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, all right, don't listen to me. No, bam, something will happen, and you just looking like, how did we get here? I didn't know. It's like, bro, you got to be in tune. You got to listen to everything around you. Listen to people. Listen to not just people, but more importantly, listen to yourself.
I love
where
that.
You're trying to go. You know what I mean?
I love that. Okay, so look, I'm curious, and I want, obviously honesty. Honesty.
For sure.
When you first got your real estate license, what was your thoughts? What was your mentality when you first got it? Like, what were we thinking? We were thinking, oh man, great opportunity. What was that initial? What was the plan? And like, I'm just curious initially when you got your real estate license.
Right when I got my real estate license,
were you like, what was the thoughts? Like
my thoughts.
What were the expectations? Let's say that. Let's set those expectations.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of hard because for one, I never really knew anybody that was really doing this. So it was hard to I just knew this was my way out.
Okay.
That was my expectation. That was what in my brain that I was looking to get out of real estate. This is my entryway to be able to do what I want to do and build what I want to build without having the leash on me. Yeah. Because I can't go really too far with that leash. It's kind of like an not invisible, but like one of them retractable leashes. Whenever you have a job, it's like you can only go but so far. It's like, hey, come back to work, or don't do this, or don't say this. So real estate, the expectation I had was freedom to express how I want to just be looked at, you know what I mean? And just not just in real estate, but just life in general. Like that was my expectation was money and my way out and freedom. Okay. Those are my things.
So now you've been doing it for coming up on 2 or 4 years. My apologies. Mm-hmm. Is that the same expectation now? Has anything changed? Has our thoughts on the process on real estate changed at all since we initially started?
Yes. Okay. Yes and no. So the goal has still been the same, to use this as my escape, as my freedom, as my way to fund my other ventures as far as like money goes. But before I even got into real estate, why I chose communications and why this is just kind of going just very back, but like a quick reference is like, I've always wanted to help people. Okay. You know what I mean? I've always, going into college, undecided, didn't know what I wanted to do, started waiting tables, started realizing like, wait, I'm really good at talking to people. I'm really good at helping people because I care about people. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, okay, maybe Devin, you're pretty good at talking. What about communications? And then that led to the internship. Oh shit. And then like everything kind of just led to one, like just another thing. So, with that being said, the real goal, it's like kind of like, and I always just use iceberg because it's like at the very top of the iceberg, there's this, and then once you trickle all the way down, there's the underlying reason. About your expectations, so
because I'm guessing when you started off, you were up here. Yeah. Now through doing the process and being in it, I feel like there's change in everything. That change, what exactly you think has what really has changed is, for one, this is your reality now. You asked for this. This is now your reality, and now you have to make what's best of it. But for two, it really does just come down to really just being a resource and really just helping people. Okay. Like even like, bro, I was talking to somebody on the phone today, a client, bro. She's like going through like surgeries. Her husband's going through surgeries. And then like, I'm just following up, calling once a month or calling whenever I call to just check in, see what's changed, see what's popping. And she was like, she just started going on this long tangent about like, I know you want to sell houses because that's how you get paid. And she was going, and it was just like, it just started making me think like, and I was like, well, first things first. Is that how you feel about me?
Yeah. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. And that's exactly what it was.
I don't know about you, but I feel like in those situations, it almost like, instead of, we'll have conversations once in a blue moon, you may have somebody who's like really aggressive, I don't want to talk to you, leave me alone. I feel like when people act, oh, you're doing this just to sell houses, it hurts me more, like, and not only in the heart, but like a spiritual level, than somebody who just tells me, get off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. Like those people, for sure.
It hurts me like more on the inside as a person than anything else.
Yeah. And it made me automatically want to just be like, I love selling houses, don't get me wrong, but once you really go down the iceberg and be like, yo, I'm trying to help people. If you can help people, bro, the money, the closings, all
That
the
all
friendships,
comes,
all it just
but
comes
just being
with
that
that.
good
Yeah.
person.
You can't just be doing like, that's why the cold calls don't work for me, because it's cool, but it's like, bro, I have so many of my own people that I couldn't be helping in my own social media that I can be, if I'm going out to eat, hey, I'm just trying to be a resource, regardless if you need a good place to eat, a place to live, somebody to motivate you, somebody to go work out with, anything, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to be that person. And once you actually start becoming that person and people start looking at you as that person, now you are that person. 100%. You know what I'm saying? It's you just live it and you embody it. It's not about being like imposter syndrome, like, damn, bro, I don't know how I made it here, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's like, bro, you know exactly how you got here. You're the one putting yourself in this position. This is who you're trying to be. You're trying to reach way more, bro. This shit is way bigger than me. It's way bigger than you. It's way bigger than everything. So it's like, whenever, like, what we're doing, bro, is not even just trying to help us now. It's trying to help us 10 years from now, 15 years from now, our kids, grandkids, or whatever, however way you look at it, your own family. 100%. You know what I'm saying? It's way deeper than just what you're doing right now. So sometimes you got to zoom out. It's very hard to look at the masterpiece you're painting whenever you're this close to the picture and you're this close to the frame,
like the numbers
moving
painting,
shit.
Where if I'm only looking at, you know, the number one, whatever color that is, if I'm only looking at the picture from that, you're not gonna see it. But once you spent the time and colored it all in, you're like, oh my goodness, it can be awesome.
Yeah, no, 100%. So that's kind of, I forgot why I kind of went down on that tangent, but that's kind of why I think the expectation chain. It was just like, wait, there is no secret sauce. There is no cheat codes. It's literally just do what keeps you going. Just do what keeps you going. And I promise, this whole life, everything that you're dreaming of, bro, it's going to come. You just got to keep on reminding yourself, when you going to
write your book?
When am I going to write my book?
Yeah.
Coming in about, I say probably about 10, 15 years. 10,
you
15
heard that?
years.
We're going to have to hold him to it.
Yeah,
we
10,
got
15
we got
years.
you on video,
yeah,
buddy.
you know, coming soon. Haven't came up with a title yet, but it's coming
10,
soon.
15 years, you'll see it.
You already know.
I love that.
Love that. Yeah, check it. But yeah.
So, okay. So everybody has their own thing, right? You know, I enjoy podcasting, stuff like that. It seems like you do as well. But we're different people, right? When you're meeting with somebody, what do you think helps you stand out compared to the other agents? Does that make sense? Like, what is something maybe you look at, or perspective you look at things different from others that maybe will help you stand out and stuff? Like, what are some things you do different?
Some things that I do different. Yeah. I don't really like to be the typical, I'm not about to show up to your house in a suit and tie or do this, or I don't try to be something I'm not. So I think that's what really separates me, is
being genuine.
I'm
when people meet with you, you're you.
Oh yeah, I'm me. I'm not trying to pretend that I know all this other crap, because for one, you will never know everything about real estate, and for two, don't be afraid. Like, if you've only been doing it for a couple months or a year, 2 years, 5 years, it doesn't matter. Don't try to pretend like you know what you're doing and try. I mean, yeah, you can front, you can fake it till you make it, but don't try to be like John, who sold, 50, 60 houses a year, whenever it's like, dude, you just know where you are and know who you are. So that's what I do. I really focus on the educational aspect. I don't want to just sell the house. I want you to understand everything you're getting into, every single aspect of the process. So whenever it comes, I'm not getting looked at like, Devin, what? I got to come up with this, or I didn't know about this, or I didn't know about this. It's like I'm setting the whole scene before you even get there, so that you kind of already know, like, oh, okay, what is what it is. Because it's not an easy process. There's a lot of moving parts, but I try to just make it super digestible. I don't try to do too much. I don't try to overcomplicate things and, this is what my firm does and this is what we do. Look at all this and blah, blah, blah. Here are all the accolades. Like, bro, they don't give a shit about that. They want to buy a house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
They want to buy a house. They don't care about
if I'm the client, yes. If you come in and tell me, oh, my firm sold 250 houses, I'm like, I'm not worried about those 250. I'm worried about my home.
Yeah, so I just try to resonate with them. I try to be like, before
being genuine.
Yeah, before the process is over, bro, I always tell them, like, bro, I be stressing for you, bro. Like, you don't even gotta, man, I don't know about this, bro. I'm doing all
You ain't
that
gotta worry about it. I'm stressing for you. I like that.
I feel like I'm moving into the house. They be probably looking at me like, yo, Devin, are you good? No, like me.
No,
meanwhile, I got like 30 things
yes.
that I'm trying putting out fires. I'm trying to do this, and then they're just at work like, Devin, how's everything? Oh, everything's fine. Meanwhile, I got 3 other people on the line.
He's got the sweat beads rolling.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I really try to make it like, okay, the home search process. It starts off, we got, or get pre-approved, but once we look at homes, this is the fun part. Don't be getting mad about looking at homes. This is the fun part. This is where we get to go in places and explore, and you can envision what your dream is, and we can let's figure this out together. There's plenty of time to stress during the process. You know what I mean? There's so many other things to stress about. So I just try to break it down simple, try to meet them where they're at. Some people want to hear all the facts. Some people don't want to give a crap about that. Some people just want to, okay, how am I going to get into this house? What can I expect? So you just got to meet everybody where they're at. There's so many different people, but at the end of the day, you can only really fall within a certain range. So if you can, meet, like I said, meet people where they're at, fall on that spectrum where they're at. If they're over here and they're just like, maybe they're a doctor and maybe they just got certain things they want to talk about. Maybe they're just strictly business, or maybe they don't really care about business. They just need somebody to talk to and relate to them and be there for them. So you just talk about people reading, knowing your skills, and that's kind of
being genuine.
Yeah, just being genuine.
It's funny you say that, because when I had Maddie on, exact same thing. Like one of her, I'm not everything, right? Y'all are different, but like one of the things we had talked about was being genuine. And it's funny you say that, because it's the same thing she said, and I really agree with that. As another agent, we've all worked together in one capacity or another, but it's definitely, I feel like people who, and I said this exact thing in the pod.
By the way, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's the Maddie Moore episode. It's, I think, the first one ever posted. Go take a look. But
shout out Maddie Moore.
But no, yeah, shout out Maddie character. But no, I feel like people work with those they enjoy to be around. I mean, is that something like that's correct?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Maybe I feel like we could be buddies. We're buddies now. But I feel like maybe some of your friends may not, in your sphere, like to hang out with me, and that's okay. And I feel like the same the other way around. So I feel like being genuine will actually lead to more, like leads and more business, because of the fact that, oh snap, I enjoy hanging out with this person.
Yeah, no, you attract what's meant to be, bro. And if even with lenders or even like whatever, it's like, I may not be everybody's cup of tea. This dude may not be everybody's cup of tea, but at least like, even like I had somebody working with me at my firm, and met with them. Cool. I thought they was really vibing with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying on top of it. And then my broker actually got the call too. She got a call from my client, even realizing like that was my broker, or not even realizing like that was my client,
crazy.
But just like, hey, looking for a house. We met with this really nice guy. He was super awesome, but I just feel like he didn't have enough expertise, or I feel like he didn't have all of the knowledge that maybe somebody who's been in it for 10, 20 years, 15, 5 years, whatever the case may be. So she started helping them. And then one day we're in the office, we're just chatting, and she's like, yeah, I'm about to go show these homes. And I was like, oh, for real? That's what's up. And just showed me the name. I was like,
Snap.
And then we had like the realization, but it wasn't even like a realization of like, I mean, at first, obviously, I'm blown. I'm like, dude, like, I thought I was good. But there's some things, bro, you can't expedite knowledge. You can't expedite process, or like how far you've gotten. Yeah, time in. Like, there's nothing I could do about that. You know what I'm saying? I can take that knowledge and be like, okay, now I'm trying to like, but there's, I forgot kind of the whole point of that. What was the whole point of that story, bro?
It was just about being genuine, and that people like to
oh
work
yeah
with
yeah
those
yeah
who
yeah
they
yeah
like to
yeah
work with.
And it's not like I'm about to feel some type of way, because at the end of the day they're being helped by somebody that I know, like, and try.
We'll help them
exactly. So that's I think that was kind of the point of that story. But the point of that story, it was pretty much that. I forgot what the hell I was talking about, bro.
100%.
Yeah, I just be rapping, bro.
Yeah, I love it. He's a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But no, I love that, dude, because it is situations where you're like, oh man, I thought we were doing good. Have you ever reached out to maybe like a listing appointment where they've maybe listed with somebody? Have you ever done it and done like to reach out? It's like, hey, I'm always happy to help. I've seen you've decided if anybody, somebody else, is there any way, maybe in the future that I can, do better, maybe get your business. Have you ever done that?
I have not.
Really?
Not because, for one, I haven't had that happen before, but also, I haven't had that happen before where I would have needed to have that conversation. Obviously, I did reach back out to them like, hey, hope everything's going well. And then they had reached back out to me, which I thought was insane. They actually let me know like, hey, we actually decided to work with another agent, but I do appreciate everything that you've done, Devin, blah, blah, blah. And not a lot of people would have done that. Not a lot of people, just ignore. It's a lot easier to ignore something instead of like actually, like I said, having that uncomfortable conversation, let me know, blah, blah, blah. But that's actually really cool because that's the only way to grow is by reflecting and is by asking, because you don't know what that person was feeling in that moment. Maybe you did something that you didn't even know that you did, that next time now you won't do it, or now you will adjust how you do it. Exactly. So that's actually something really, really cool and really, really great. Shout out them. They just closed on their house with my broker, so that's pretty dope. I may hit them up and be like, hey, 100%. Congratulations. P.S. Is there anything that I can do to be selling your house in 5-10 years, or just any feedback, constructive criticism? Because us as people, we don't really like constructive criticism, because once you feel attacked, you're like, oh, this person. But once you're able to look at yourself from like a unbiased standpoint, not like I'm looking at Devin like me, but look, I'm looking at Devin as just another human that I just so happen to be. I get first person point of view on this person. Let me not look at him like by judging him or being mean to him or being like, what can you do to fix it? But like, how can we get through this together? How can I make you, not necessarily make you, but how can we get through this? How can we, just looking at yourself unbiased. If you don't get up at 7 a.m., don't be fucking mean to yourself because you didn't get up when you were supposed to get up. Fucking be like,
there's a genuine thing called morning people and nighttime people.
You
like,
know what I'm
saying?
If you
do better in the afternoon and you don't like the mornings, as long as you're okay with, you may get up 9, 10 o'clock, whatever you feel. I feel like, but you'll also work later. Yeah. So it just depends on being genuine to you.
True with yourself and know who you are.
Genuine, I love it.
And you don't want to be the judge. I mean, you want to be the judge, but you also, because there's one voice in our head, but that one voice plays multiple roles. It can be the motivator. It can be the judge. It can be the person that's like, yo, can you stop talking to me? You know what I'm saying? But if you can get those voices in the same, because how I kind of look at it, it's like us as a person is like the employee. And then you have your subconscious, which is like the CEO of the business. And then you have the manager who's like telling the employee like, hey man, you really should be, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And then the employee is looking at the manager like, bro, I ain't really trying to do that shit. And then you got the CEO who is not really in the business. He owns the business, but he's out doing other things. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure the employee understands why he's doing what he's doing. You have to make sure the manager isn't being too mean of a manager, but that nice manager you have to find the sweet spot on how to make yourself operate. You got to make sure the CEO, the manager, and your employee are all on the same page, because when we're all on the same page, bro, we be making motion. There's motion. Yeah. But whenever there's a disconnect, when the employee is working, he's like, yo, I don't understand why this dude is telling me to do this. I don't understand why you're telling me to wake up at 7 a.m. or trying to do this or trying to do this when it doesn't even make sense. It's not what I'm trying to do. You got to have those conversations with yourself and the manager, so that the manager can then be like, all right, hey man, he's not trying to do this. Where's the goal? And the CEO comes back every once in a while. He's got really wise words, but he doesn't speak that often. But when he does speak, you got to listen, because the CEO, he's focused on long term. Yes. He's focused on years and 10 years. And he's like, all right, man, I'm trying to tell you, if you're trying to make it here, this is what you got to do. Whatever. So that's kind of how I look at it. You got to really be in unison with yourself and know who you are. Like I said, know those different roles within yourself. Know that there's this and this and this. You can't be all of it at one time, but at least you can listen to yourself and look at yourself unbiasedly. Yeah, you judge yourself, but also be your biggest motivator, be your biggest supporter, because no one's going to support you like you support you. You know what I mean? You got to keep on reminding yourself, I love
that. Okay, so now, we've got to know Devin. I love that. Real estate side, business side. We're always developing, changing world. For maybe agents listening, what are some I like to ask this because I feel like it's a different perspective from everyone. But what are some things you're doing now that's creating that business? Right? You mentioned, I mentioned you do a podcast as well. You do social media. What are some other things that you've been doing that builds that business to reach out and find those people who want that help?
Okay, so some of the things that I've been doing is A big part of that is, I mean, networking is huge.
Okay.
Try to find them. I'm trying to find, I mean, obviously I have like my team that as far as real estate goes, but when it comes to my loan officers and when it comes to these people that are trying to get you to work with them, it's really just having fun with it, you know? So by doing that, I'm starting to plan more events. I have a client appreciation event coming up on November 9th that I'm inviting all my past clients. If I've helped you with a rental, helped buy or helped sell your house, or if I'm even trying to help you buy a house in the future, I'm hosting more of those events. I have one coming up on November 9th. I'm planning a first-time home buyers class, kind of like a myth buster type deal. I don't really want it to be like you're coming into a lecture. I want to have fun with it.
Have fun with it,
Yeah, I want to have fun with it. I want to just make it myself and my own thing. So I'm partnering with a home insurance guy and a loan officer. And like I said, we actually just met this morning again, but we're planning that in January, but it's just, there's working in the business and there's working on the business. I don't necessarily, like, I'll make calls if I got to make calls, but I'm not about to call 100 people, bro. I'm not going to do that, because that's why I left Wavy. At Wavy, I was calling hundreds of people. I didn't want to do that. So it's all about how I'm finding business. It's just about posting on social media, being there, a resource, just being there, reaching back out to old friends, old family members, and then just make sure you're staying busy. People in real estate, you don't really have anybody that's there all the time recording what you do, or they don't know what you're doing. So it's good to shed light. If you're going to look at houses, post a video like, hey, I'm going to take a look at this property today. Or, I mean, for one, AI is just becoming more and more just of a factor in that. So that's another way I'm starting to do it, is trying to take the thinking out of it. We get in our own way of thinking too much, and then it's like, all right, let me just put it in a chat. And then once you put it in a chat and it tells you literally the whole formula for what you're trying to do, and it's like, oh shit, all right, there we go. So I'd say networking with people, reaching back out to my friends, family, because right now I'm still pretty young. I'm 25, and not a lot of my friends are making that bread to where they can just go buy a house. But what they are looking at is social media and how I portray myself and how they're able to see me selling a house and be like, oh shit, Devin, oh crap, okay, he's selling houses, he's doing this.
And that keeps you in front of mind if they ever run into somebody, you know.
Yes.
Maybe their best friend's mom is looking to buy a house. Well, if they're scrolling on Instagram, oh snap, there's Devin. You know, wasn't your mom just talking about buying a house? And then you go from there.
It's really about utilizing everything, because we're more than just a real estate agent. We're somebody who, because at the end of the day, it's all Devin, you know what I mean? Or all Zach, or all you. So once you start combining all of those different aspects of you to one, and when it's just, you're just the immovable force, man. Because I don't want to just be known as the real estate agent. I just want to be known as that good guy. You know what I'm saying? But from that good guy, people may have had a conversation with me at the bar or on a podcast, or I've helped them sell a house. But all these different stories and versions of you and me, that's what creates us. That's what makes us us. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm truly trying to do with to answer your question again. It's the starting to incorporate all of my things and everything that I'm good at and like doing. And then it just comes back to me. You know what I'm saying? So by podcasts, I really have to start doing, because like I've recorded like, I think I've posted like 10 episodes, 8, 9 or 10 That's episodes, crazy. But it's like, I gotta remember that that is just gonna help boost this, and that is gonna help. It's a whole web that we're trying to build. We're just trying to build a whole little spider web that hopefully, because everybody's web, which is the universe, is all connected. So once you can keep on building your own web, and then other people start getting your web and seeing your influence and seeing this and seeing that, and then it's like trying to bring everybody with it.
I love
you know what I'm saying? So instead of just focusing on one avenue, just keep on doing everything. Just create as many traps as you can. Not traps, but you know, spider webs, and then it'll just connect and all. There will be a moment, bro, when all of it just makes so much sense, and you remember, like, this is okay. I see the picture now. It's almost like putting together a puzzle. You just focusing on the corners, and then once you start, you're like, oh, this is what I was trying to do.
I love that.
So yeah,
I love that. Oh my goodness, I love that. Awesome. Well, look, but I do have to run.
Yeah.
It was great talking today, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for real. Like, it's cool, man. We haven't spoken in a while. We'll have to do this again. You have to invite me to yours.
Yeah, you'll be next. Yeah, you'll be next.
I love that. But no, for real, man,
thank you again. And, you know, for people watching, thank y'all for coming in, listening. You know, Devin's a really cool guy. Devin, where can they find you, man?
Where can they find me, man? They can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Devin Lundy Homes. I also have my own podcast called Peak Perspectives, Pique Perspectives. It's on YouTube. Find me there, or find me on Instagram, Facebook.
I love that. And I'll put it all below as well. So when you're listening, you know, if you're curious about Devin, you can always reach out to him. Awesome, man. Well, look, thank you again, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Also,
thank
I want
you.
to shout out to World Class for letting me and Devin use their podcast set up today in their office. We appreciate it. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing y'all soon. And hopefully, Devin, this isn't the last time, bud.
It will not be, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Before we leave, bro, I just want to say, Zach, I'm super proud and happy for what you're doing. It's not super easy to show up every single day to either make calls or just be doing what you want to be doing, but to include this and give people a platform to kind of shed light on who they are, bro. It's inspiring. It's awesome. And yeah, bro, you're so young, but there's still so much to go. And bro, you're headed on the right direction, bro. So appreciate you, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I really do.
You already know.
We'll have to do this again.
All Bang! Right. You already know.
See y'all later, and
catch
look, we'll see you again.
See you soon, brother.
Bye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.